Hey everybody, welcome back to AnKorage Extras, and I'm in front of the computer as you can see, so we're going to be doing something on the computer. And of course this is going to be Linux based, so uh, there's an application out there for whenever you run updates, and it's called apt. Apt is a package manager, and of course we say, we can do sudo apt update to see if there's any new software out there or any updates to your software, and then you have sudo apt upgrade, and it's very text based. But I recently learned of something that makes it a lot prettier, and you can actually get it to run faster. And I figured that we would take a look at that today. Okay, we're out in my virtual machine for Linux Mint, and the first thing we need to make sure of is that Python is required for this because it runs off of it. And we need to run 3 dot something dot 10. So we need to check to make sure that we've actually got that in there. So we can throw up the terminal, and here we are. And if we type, let's say, Python space dash dash version, of course, if it doesn't have Python in there, you might get asked something like this: Python not found. Did you happen to mean this? Command Python 3. Well, we want to find out if we actually have Python 3. So we can type Python 3 dash dash version. And there we go. We've got 3.8.10. Now that's the version that we need to have for this. So I am going to zoom in just to make it a little bigger, and I'm going to get rid of this menu bar here and maximize it just to make it a little easier. So what we want to do is we want to come out to to your browser, and if we go to this page right here, which is trendoceans.com/nala package manager, and this is where you're actually brought, and you can see a little bit of an example. You might need to zoom in on it or try to make it a little bigger because these aren't overly too big. But on the left here, in this box, you can see sudo apt install blah, blah, blah. This person is installing Git, and you can see everything is text based, and you've got a little bit of an ASCII progress bar. That's nice and everything. But over on the right, you actually have Nala running. So you can see it's got a little more extra characters and so on, and you can actually see a graphical type border going on, and we are going to be installing that. So how do we do that? Well, I actually did get it already installed in here, but I'm going to show you the steps. So generally what we need to do is we just come down here. We can come down to method 1, adding custom repositories. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically add the repository or the software source, which is this Boolean scar repository right in here, and that's this. So how do we do that? You can basically, in here, you can just come into the text, you can triple click it, 1 2 3, and it highlights the whole thing. Then you can copy that, and then you come back down to your terminal, you can paste that, and and then there's a sudo action in there to actually add it in. So you would put in your password, and there we go. And there you get, basically it doesn't say, hey, it's been added. It's just saying, all right, be aware that you're going to be doing something with this. We add the GPG key, which is it's a security type thing. You can just triple click that, copy, bring that back over here, and you paste it, and you do that, and it downloads. And what the wget action is basically download this and then download this certain thing, and and then you want to add the key, which is the authentication key, let's say. So then you come back out here, and if you happen to have Ubuntu release 2204, and you would want to use this one here, but not that $sign. So you would want to highlight this manually. Copy that and come over here, paste it, and it's actually going to go ahead and try to do that. Now I'm going to get an error here saying E can't find the package, but it's going to go out to all of my mirrors that I've got for software, and it's going to check all of those. Okay, and we can see down here it says E unable to correct the problems, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. But what you would actually want to do is want to use the update sudo apt install Nala legacy, which is for Ubuntu 2104. Now the 2104, that's the release that's of it, and the 21 means 2021, and the 04 means April because it's the 4th month. As of this date, which is we're into November, we've got Thanksgiving coming up. The latest release is 2210, and if it's not already out, it's going to be coming out. So we want to take that, and we want to use that. And I've already got it installed, so naturally it already says Nala Legacy is already installed to the newest version, which is 11.0 or 0.11.0 or 0.11.0 or just plain old 11. So, and it says 116 have not been upgraded because I'm going to be using Nala to do that. So we want to see this be really pretty. So I'm going to fire up another one here. And I'm going to zoom that, and I'm going to get rid of that. So I'll maximize that. So we can actually see here's like the old way. You got all these text lines and everything like that, but it's easily understandable. It looks like a lot of garbage, but if you get into it and you try to train yourself a little bit, or if you get a tutorial or something, you can understand what this stuff is. But Nala, it kind of takes some of that mystery out. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a sudo, if I can spell it, Nala update, and of course it wants the password, so you want to throw that in there. And you see the little graphical lines, and there we go. And see, bang, it saw that there's 116 packages that can be upgraded. And you can do Nala list upgradable to get a listing of those. So for an example, I will actually display that. Just like that. And boom, there you are. And of course, it'll continue to word wrap down if there's extra lines, and you can just scroll back to see what everything happens to be. And the name of the packages or software happens to be in green. And there's that there. So what you can see is that, that's the current version, right, that's listed here, and said that's installed and can be upgradable to this one here. So what's the differences here? Well, you got this Lubuntu, just as an example, we've got this Li broken 18-Heimdall, and it's 7.7.0 plus DFSG-Lubuntu 1. So the new version is 7.7.0 plus DFSG-Lubuntu 1.1. So the .1 is the newer version. And Heimdall, blah, 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 it's the Roken support library. It's nice. And that's basically the format. So, and then back down here, we scroll all the way back down, and now we are going to update it. So we're going to do sudo Nala upgrade. And you see it's very pretty. And boom, there's the whole listing right there. You know, that's everything. And we got the same Linux headers. There's nothing here that says kernel, so it's not necessarily a kernel. It might be, but we don't have to worry about that exactly. But it's always a good idea to, just in case. So, do you want to continue? Well, I'm not going to continue this one, so I can give you an example of if you just want to upgrade. Oh, I hit enter, so it's going to go ahead and it's going to supersede that. I'm going to try to cancel it. Okay, good. So I got rid of that. So excuse me. If you do a sudo upgrade, Nala upgrade with a dash and a Y, that dash Y answers that yes no question, do you want to continue? So, and of course I misspelt it, so I'm going to go back over here, get rid of that K, go back to here, and this is going to go ahead, it's going to download all of the packages to update, and it will consider it ready to go, and it just goes ahead and installs. So I hit enter, and here you go. You got the nice graphical lines around it, nice and pretty. There's the huge listing, and we can actually see a graphical progress bar down at the bottom, and it's actually throwing everything out there. So there we go. There's that. We are going to let them go on. Now, there is a way that you can actually go ahead and try to get this to go faster, and that is by updating your mirror list. And when you first install it, it's using the mirrors that you have already selected in the update manager, but you can actually get this to come out a little bit better because we can go out and we can fetch all of those on every mirror out there, and you can actually pick the mirrors to pick from, and it will actually download from all those mirrors and make it go faster. So now, it did all the download, and now it's going through, and now it is going to be updating the packages, as we can see right here. So we're going to let that go on, let this continue on, and I'll pick it up at the end of it. And we're at the end of it, and the following packages require a reboot, DBUS. So that might be kernel related, I don't know in particular, but it says it was finished successfully. I'm not going to reboot yet because I want to show you one other thing, and plus when I'm all done, I'm just shutting it down. But we're going to go on to mirrors. What's a mirror? Well, it's basically a location where there are packages, where there's programs, applications, things of that sort. Software. It's basically where the software is kept. So we can actually update that. We can actually, if you want to see what your current mirrors are, well, in Linux Mint, you've got the update center right here, and you can actually view. Let's see, software sources. We go there. We can go into here, and we can see it. Well, our main happens to be from, I actually set this up before. It's from Clarkson EDU. There we go. And then my base software comes from USSG, wherever that is, which is a .edu. And I like getting my software from educational facilities. Not all of them work all that great, as I know from my Raspberry Pis, because I did this on my Raspberry Pi. But, I've got 4 of them, but I only use 2. But that's a different story. Now, if we want to update these mirrors, what we can do is we can do, let's see, sudo nala fetch. And what fetch does, it goes out and it gets all of the mirrors. So we are going out and we are searching for the mirrors. Alright. It's testing the mirrors. And this is going to take a moment. And I came out here and I actually canceled that fetch and I actually started over so that I could have it all up on the screen, have all that other garbage out of the way, so we have a nice clear screen to work with. And here we are. we have all the fastest mirrors. So here they all are. Excuse me. They're all listed right here, and it asks down at the bottom, mirrors you want to keep separated by spaces. So why don't we pick the first 5? So we'll, when you see it listed here, it lists it from the fastest to the slowest. So the fastest one is 41 milliseconds, and the slowest is 155 milliseconds. And it's in milliseconds. It doesn't, in the big picture, it doesn't even matter because it's milliseconds. But if you're the type to be like, I want the absolute fastest all the time, well, then why don't we pick the first 5 there, and we do 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, 5 space. If we're going to add another one, but we're not going to. So I'm just going to take that out, hit enter. And it's okay. It basically echoes or displays. Those are the ones that I picked. The scores and how many milliseconds it'll take to download the release file. Are these mirrors okay? Well, yes. There you go. The sources have been written to, Etsy app sources.list.d/nala space sources.list. And you can actually go to that and actually open it up in a text editor or in Nano or something like that and actually see that list whenever you want. So now just for the sake of update, see how fast this goes, we'll clear it and we'll do a sudo nala update. And it's going to go through and it's going to connect to all of those mirrors, and it will actually say which ones it got there. And of course it's up, looking at all of them, but it's only going to download from the ones that you picked. But can you see how pretty this is? It's very nice. Alright, and it looks like we're just about finished. Fetched 128.4 megabytes in 32 seconds. It's finishing up its process, and bang, all packages are up to date. Well, thank you very much. That's because I just updated all of them. So that is that. So we did that, and so you've seen it actually put in, and it's very nice. And let's see. So we will go back, and we're done with this section, and we're back. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that. But it's taking, how can you update packages in a prettier way? It's like I look at it, I use it because it happens to be prettier, and I can have it, actually do the updates a little bit faster. It's like you can pick your, you can go into your update manager and run your updates through that, or you can actually run it from the command line using Nala. It's a front end to the app package manager, and it can actually you can tell it to download things a little quicker, and then it'll install it for you. And it happens to give you a graphical display bar for progress bar for the installation, for the downloads, and it just happens to look really, really pretty, and I really, really like it. It's like it's like I mentioned, hey, out on the Linux Mint chat room, hey, this is what I did and everything like that. And there's one guy, he's like, do you have to say it every other hour or every few hours or something like that? And I'm like, I just happen to like it, and I happen to like to share what I've done. But since you don't like hearing it every few hours, even though it was a few days, you may be dry as hell, and I don't care. If I want to share something, I will, but because of the way you are, whatever. I may not. I might be evil, but I'm really not. I can play one on TV pretty well. Thanks. But anyways, that was installing Nala and giving a demonstration of how it runs. And as I'm looking at this stuff, everything's looking all right, and that's pretty much this extra. I've got another video that's going to be on extra for extras. That is, I can't quite remember it at the moment, and but in either case, I've got a big video that I'm going to be coming out with next spring. So, and I've got little bits I have to do of recording, so it's going to be kind of like one piece of it I'll be recording soon, another one I'll be recording a little later on maybe, and you know, and then there's the big one that I'm going to be doing in the spring. But that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna stop boring you right now. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna try to remember what that other thing was. Oh yeah, I remember it now. Um, excuse me. But I'm not gonna say what that's about. But it might have something to do with this. Might have something to do with this. Who knows? Yeah. Not the keyboard, but another computer, you know. It's something you can do on the computer, because that's where I have it right now. But you could also put it on a cell phone in a couple of different ways. So, anyways, we will drop it there, and hope you like Nala. I love it. I think it's really good, and I do recommend installing it. And there you go. So thank you very much, and we will talk to you later. Skál.